Why would he do something like this, and why would he do it in front of his children?
Trying to find the baby right now.
And it is heartbreaking, it really is.
Nora Reed says her daughter Nancy's life was in jeopardy, and her last attempt to get away from her common-law husband, Jiron Lee, cost her everything.
He has ruined her life and my sister's life. He has done a lot of damage to my mom's life. While he used to live with my mom, they both stayed with my mom.
The search for a missing toddler whose mother was killed just days ago. 2-year-old Nadia Lee has been missing since before her father was arrested in connection to the death of his common-law wife.
They're going to continue to work until they find Nadia Lee.
Around 11:30 p.m. on October 18th, Houston police responded to the Sonesta Extended Stay Suites on Bay Area Boulevard for a report of a possible assault. Upon arrival, they would encounter a 26-year-old male by the name of Jiron Charles Lee, who explained to police that he and his wife had just gotten into an altercation. He informed authorities that he put his wife into a chokehold after she allegedly choked their 3-year-old child as a form of discipline. The man then stated that his wife tried to choke him as well, but he was able to grab the victim's arms and place her in a chokehold. She eventually became unresponsive, prompting him to call 911. All of this occurring in front of the couple's 2 children.
Police say the night of October 18th, they responded to a call at this Sonesta Hotel on Bay Area Road. Lee admitted to officers he choked Reed after claiming she was choking one of their young children. 2 young girls, 1 and 3 years old, were in the hotel room at the time, but police say they were not hurt.
The suspect's common-law wife, who was quickly identified as 22-year-old Nancy Reed, was reportedly transported to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Lee was immediately arrested and taken into custody. The children, who were unharmed, were reportedly placed into the custody of Child Protective Services until they can be placed with family. Nancy's relatives told news outlets they were desperately trying to help her get out of this toxic relationship, but it was just too late. Before the fatal choking, police responded to the hotel earlier that night for reports of a custody battle between the victim and suspect. Authorities reportedly spoke with the couple and were able to settle the dispute. Investigators later learned that a 3rd child, 2-year-old Nadia Lee, was missing and was last seen at her father's apartment complex on South Ritchie Street in Pasadena around 8 p.m. on or around October 16th, 2 days before her father was accused of killing her mother. The child had been under the custody of Lee for just a short period of time. He checked her out of foster care the Friday before the Sunday she was last seen and never returned her. According to Lee, he went to take out the trash on Sunday, October 16th, around 8 p.m., and when he came back, Nadia was gone. He says he assumed that her mother, 22-year-old Nancy Reed, took her. The department's Missing Person Division began investigating and discovered DNA evidence of a crime at the apartment, reclassifying the case as a homicide. Investigators said Lee was seen on camera near a dumpster for 20 minutes while pushing a stroller. Homicide investigators then took over the case of Nadia's disappearance. Volunteers with Texas EquiSearch searched the area of Pasadena Memorial Park and an area 2 to 3 miles from the park, as well as Jackson Hill Cemetery. Texas EquiSearch founder and director Tim Miller said on Thursday that his biggest fear is that Nadia won't be found. Since the initial phase of the search, Jiron Lee has not shared any information regarding where Nadia may be.
A lot of us didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night when we got a little 2-year-old. And
for the second day, volunteers from Texas EquiSearch and deputy constables from Precinct 2 are continuing to search for Nadia Lee.
And evidence found so far indicates little Nadia may be dead. Crews are even checking a bayou nearby.
While we do still have hope that she is found, we do have to put in efforts to search with Tim just to see if we can locate her in any means.
we're going to continue checking the bio in case something happened in there and something has possibly not floated yet.
Lee remains in jail, and he's not cooperating with police on Nadia's whereabouts.
Time is not on our side, and we was thinking we got a small child and we got a big city. You know, I think we did a good job yesterday clearing a lot of areas, and we can say we know where she's not.
Police suspect foul play in Nadia's disappearance.
I don't know if that's 100% out of the question. I mean, we've kind of thrown that idea around our heads and stuff, and is it going to lead us there? I don't know where it's going to lead us. I don't know where it's going to lead us, but I hope it leads us to where we need to be and we can help bring this thing to an end.
Nora Reed says her loving daughter didn't deserve this and hopes others dealing with domestic violence will run for their own safety.
The first sign of domestic violence, I would just advise whoever's in it to get out. Get out as fast as you can.
It's been very tough.
Quanisha, who has asked us not to show her face, is 26-year-old Jiren Lee's sister. She says she hasn't spoken to him in 2 years. She says her brother and 22-year-old Nancy Reed were in a toxic relationship.
It was always them, so it's no matter how much we try to get Jiren out of the situation or even get Nancy out of the situation.
Lee has been charged with Reed's murder tied to a domestic dispute that happened this week.
That's not his character. So it's really sad. The outcome is sad for Nancy too, and her family as well.
Family members say the couple have 5 children together.
It's very hard knowing that, one day they're going to grow up and see all of this. We just really don't want to believe that she is gone.
Quanisha says she's hoping her brother comes forward with some sort of information.
We just want him to know that, let us know where Nadia is and that, we love him.
Lee is currently being held in the Harris County Jail on a $250,000 bond for a murder charge. He could face more charges related to Nadia's disappearance. It was not immediately clear if he entered a plea or retained an attorney to comment on his behalf. The investigation is ongoing.
I'm going to find that he's indigent. Mr. Lee, you'll have the following bond conditions in your case, sir. You're not to have any contact whatsoever with the family or household members of the complainant, Nancy Reed. You to surrender your passport or any travel documents to the court registry.
And under those bond conditions, Lee cannot also leave Harris County and he cannot possess any firearms. Their 2 children have been placed in Child Protective Services.